everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with another 20-ish minute review. We're cranking these things out. Simba, Bang Bang, Muna by MBBS, and Jallikattu. This week we got a special treat for you. As everyone knows, the Big Show is taking the month off because Ralph has some moving he's got to do, a few other things going on, and frankly, he needed just a break. But he has graciously offered to join me tonight to do our little 20-ish minute review like we're doing with the other YKY gang members. So he's going to join us in the second half. Now, because of that kind of commitment, even when he wanted to take a month off, I think that should earn you subscription. I think you want to be notified when these videos come out. So you want to hit that notification button. And of course, just because you're such nice, caring people, you also want to hit that like button. One other thing, if you know people who like our take on this stuff, or you think they'd like our take on these Indian movies, please share it. We're trying to build our subscription base out, and we're trying to build our viewership. Maybe that's a way to do it. I don't know. So listen, we've got the next film off the viewer choice wheel, and this came from Ron M. Ron M. In this movie I'm gonna do today, I'll do the first half, then I'll bring Ralph on for the second half, is A Wednesday, which was made in 2008. It's directed by Neeraj Pandey. It stars Anupam Kher, Naseeruddin Shah, who I recognized from A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was Captain Nemo. That voice is very distinctive. So that was pretty cool. Virendra Saxena, Gaurav Kapoor, and Jimmy Shergill. So this film is about, pretty straightforward, the head cop, the chief of police, I'm not sure exactly what the title is retiring the next day, or he's retiring. And they show him on the edge of water. It was a very interesting camera thing they did. Someone brings a chair to him, he sits down, and the camera's going all around him, then it pulls back. He's looking into the water. He's retiring. And in his thoughts, he talks about a case that he had that nobody knows about. And that's how it starts. And then it flashes back. And basically what the story is, he gets a call from somebody who says, I've planted 5 bombs around Mumbai. I think it was Mumbai. And if he doesn't do certain things within a certain time, he's going to blow up the bombs. And the guy played by Naseeruddin, glasses, kind of nondescript, but he ends up on a roof with all this, a laptop, a phone, SIM cards. So the whole movie basically is they have to follow his instructions throughout the film. And if they don't, he's going to blow up the bombs. Well, his instructions is he wants 4 terrorists of all different religions, I believe. That's kind of what I got from it. He wants to get them all released, bring them together, and then we'll get to the conclusion. Now, this is only 2008, but I'm based on the comments, a lot of people have seen this film, so I am going to spoil it. So if you haven't seen the movie, you probably don't want to watch this, because there's a twist that happens that you want to find out without being told, because it's a really good twist. So, guys know I take notes for these movies, right, as I'm watching them. Well, I didn't take very many notes in this film, because this film had me right from the beginning for a number of reasons. The 2 lead performances were fantastic, especially Shah, who played the terrorist, the mastermind. And the tension remains throughout this entire movie. And the music, the background music that they use, was great. It was one of the best soundtracks of the films I've seen, because it really just added to the tension. No musical numbers. They didn't break away for any musical numbers like typically happen. So there was a lot of tension throughout this movie that I really liked. It really kept my interest. Um, so there's one cop that I did have questions on. Let's see. Do I have the name here? Yeah, Arif, played by Jimmy Shergill. I didn't quite get that character. He was a badass cop, but they kept throwing out like these little red herrings. You know, the main guy kind of smirked when he found out he was going to be involved. And then he does this, you know, and I know the slapping thing is Indian films. And I guess it's not so much about punishment as it is about humiliation. At least that's what I've been told. But he slaps the hell out of people. And he's like a badass cop. And him and another guy, I'm not sure the other guy's name, Arif, there was two of them. One good cop, one not so good cop. Or a really good cop, just a violent cop. I don't know. But so they're involved. They pull the terrorists together and things happen. I think I won't spoil it till I talk with Ralph. So I don't want to spoil it. But I will say that the ending of this film was unexpected. His monologue, when he explains why he is doing what he is doing, was amazing. Just an amazing scene. So I really liked this movie a lot. Now I know it was also remade with Ben Kingsley and Ben Cross, and the film was called A Common Man. And it got blasted. I mean, the reviews I read on it were just horrible, and I have no desire to see it because I don't think they're going to top this one. So Ron M, good call on this one. This was a little different than I've seen before. Real tension and real powerhouse acting performance by the two leads, but especially, again, I don't want to screw up the name, Naseeruddin Shah. He was just great in this. And again, I love the ending. Now, there were some things I didn't like. Like there's a really big red herring with Arif when the head police guy says to the other cop, wait, I even wrote this down. When this is over, you have to do something about Arif. And then there's a scene where it looks like he's going to do something about Arif. And to me, it was like, I didn't get that. What was the point of that? Why would they throw that out there like that if they weren't going to, do something with it? So I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of silly. You know what? I'm going to wait for Ralph to get into more detail on this. But I will tell you one scene that I thought was cool. There's an explosion, and when people get blown up, they're in the air with their bodies on fire. Okay, that was pretty intense, So I'm gonna bring Ralph on. I'm not sure what Ralph's gonna think about this, but now that he's been so refreshed for at least half the month, I'm sure he's gonna have a whole new perspective on this thing. Okay, so listen, everybody, just you gotta give it up for the guy who wanted to take a month off, but still, because of his commitment to you, the other Cine-Maniacs, he's jumping on the show to talk to you about our Wednesday. So give it up loud for the founder of YKY Mother Podcast, Indian Cine-Maniacs, my brother, Ralph Quattrucci. That's how he pronounces it. That's not how I pronounce it. I pronounce it Quattrucci. Anyway, Ralph, you're on. Hey, Ralph. Welcome, Ralph. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is a 20ish-minute review show.
Well, that's what we do anyway.
Ralph, I just have to say, seeing you just look so refreshed, revitalized, energized.
I don't feel refreshed or vitalized because I've been doing nothing but moving, both myself, my daughter, my sons. This office, I spent 3 weeks just trying to get this office with everything in it.
You mean, when you say office, you mean your studio?
The studio.
You have a keyboard back there.
I don't know how to play it, but yes.
So you just have it?
Yeah. Why?
Okay.
Not? Yeah.
You're quite the Renaissance man.
Yeah. I'll put it back there.
Okay. Nice. I like it. And you got your Baltimore Orioles hat, who are playing very well right now.
I do. That's why I'm wearing this. They're my new.
I see that you're hopping on the bandwagon. I get it.
Listen. Red Sox are out.
I don't talk about the Red Sox. All right. I haven't been to a game. Anyway, so listen, the movie, I've already discussed this in the first half. We're doing A Wednesday, 2008. And I didn't do spoilers yet. Now, we are going to do spoilers. So I want to make sure everyone knows that, because there is a big twist at the end that we're going to talk about, because I think it's the best part of the movie. But I'm just going to, and this is what I do in these shows, Ralph. Since I did my piece already, I'm going to give you the floor. You tell me what you think about this movie, and then you and I will have a little back and forth about it.
Well, I can't really talk about it unless I can talk about the spoilers.
Well, I told them we're going to spoil it. So if you want to, please feel free.
All right. Well, so the good news was the movie was only an hour and 45 minutes. So right away I was like, okay, this is digestible. I can handle
right.
I'm watching this movie and I just was not into it at all. At all. Had all the tropes that I'm used to seeing now.
Wow.
The crazy cop who's slapping everybody and
performing
all kinds of, I mean, can they do that in India? Can cops just walk up and just start to slap the shit out of people and that
seems to be a common thread throughout all these movies.
So dealing with that, then you've got so you got the guy who starts going into the police station with the bomb. And I'm thinking this is we're going to be a typical cat and mouse thing. All the goofy stuff where they're trying to track his phone calls and they're showing the computer screens with the goofy track. And then they bring the hacker kid in. I'm like, oh, this is, it's just like, I was just not into it at all. Very frustrated. The other super cop who put his wife and daughter on a train, or wife and son on a train. And I can't quite figure out what his deal is. He's happy they're getting away. He doesn't care if he's going to die. He says there's something, but I was not into it until the twist. And it turned everything around. And I absolutely love this film.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that.
Absolutely loved it. And part of it was, once that twist happened, now I'm on this guy's side.
That's right.
Now I understand the four guys, the terrorists that he brought up, and they're talking about their dates that they were proud of were bombings that they did, right? That's what was going on there. Those were bombings that they performed. Okay, so but having said that, everything that happened in that airport from the moment that the bench blew up.
Yeah.
When he blows up the three guys and the fourth guy
and torched them, flying in the air on fire.
Oh, that's great stuff. And boards were coming past the screen and all that. But when he's on the phone with the other cop, and the guy says, "Look, if you don't kill this guy, I'm gonna bomb. All those bombs are going off." And the next thing you see is the dude getting shot. And then I knew he said something to the other cop, the little cop, about we're going to do something.
When this is over, we have to do something about our reef.
Now, was a reef a problem in this thing?
Well, okay, it's funny because I brought that up in the first half. They made a big point of that, of him saying that, like they were implying that he's so out of control, we need to take this guy out. Because then that scene where he pulls out the gun and it looks like he's going to shoot him. I said, okay, they're gonna kill him and say, something happened with the prisoner. And then he shot him in the arm and said, "You moron, why didn't you wait?" I thought that was, for me.
Well, what moron? Wait for what? What was he waiting?
Well, what they knew that one of them had to get injured to. Yeah, because it was the frame up. So he did it.
But the guy, did they plant the gun on the other guy, the terrorist?
But it wasn't enough. They had to get, one of them had to get shot.
I understand, but shot by whom? By the other cop?
No, no. They were implying, they're trying to frame it up that the terrorist got a hold of one of the cop's guns and shot him. But that 2 points. One, when they were deciding that they had to kill this last terrorist, I had the exact same reaction you did. I was like, okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to contemplate the pros and cons of it. Nope. You see the guy, boom, 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 he's shot.
Yeah.
That's it. And then when he shot him in the arm, because of course they're making it seem like he's pointing right at his head. So when he shoots him in the arm, it's, "You moron, why don't you wait till I was looking?"
Right.
I that was kind of a red herring that I didn't like. That's my only criticism of this movie. I love this movie start to finish.
Well, the criticism I have is the cliche about the cop that Arif, is that his name? The
Yeah,
super
Arif.
cop, whatever.
Yeah.
Like just beating everybody up. I didn't
Right.
quite get his shtick. I
Right.
like his look. I like how cool he was.
And chewing gum the whole time.
He's wearing running shoes,
Yeah.
right? He's wearing sneakers. But it was the monologue at the end. That monologue is, I mean, that's a master class, both in writing and acting.
And he wins everybody over.
Well, that whole thing with
the monologue,
where the hacker says he is the best I've ever, and the guy goes, "Hey, this sketch is wrong. It's not."
Right.
I mean,
well, even the police chief did the exact same thing.
I understand, and that's what me as a viewer did. Now I completely, and we showed the scene of the kid showing his engagement ring on the train.
Right.
I mean, that just really hit it. Now I have a question. Was the news reporter a daughter of his? He kept calling her child.
No.
Okay, so that was just him.
No. I didn't get that at all. No, I don't think so. I think he was just doing, because he called her, and if it wasn't going to be her, it was going to be somebody else.
Okay.
Because he was ready to call somebody else.
She was not related to him.
No.
Okay.
She was good though. She was good. I liked the way she played it.
Again, it's the thing is, it's for me, it was all a bit goofy. It's goofy right up until he gave that speech.
See,
even the thing where he brings the bag of tomatoes and stuff up at the top, and they were they must have loved that location, because they really shot the hell out of that location, that building, which was great. It was fantastic, and they did a cute thing like they did in Silence of the Lambs with that editing trick.
Yeah,
when
Arif went to the building,
right?
Yeah,
and it wasn't his building,
right?
I appreciated that. So from
and then
that
the cat
moment
came
on,
out.
Yeah, yes, and the cat walks out onto the roof. I was not into it until the last third of the film.
So you didn't, because for me, first of all, I love the music in this film because I just think it added to the tension. But I didn't know what was going on, and I certainly didn't. I had no idea of what that twist was going to be at the end. I had no idea about that. So I was just trying to figure out, how's the police chief going to get this guy and get rid of all the bombs? Because you didn't, and it never really stopped. I mean, it was a fast-paced movie.
Yeah, thank goodness. Yeah, it was an hour and 40 minutes.
So for me, I loved it, but the twist for me just elevated it to, I can say that I think this is one of my favorite films that I've seen. Plus the actor who played, and in the credits, his credit is the common man. That's his credit. That's the guy who played Captain Nemo in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Seriously?
Yeah, that same guy.
I love that film.
And that voice, you can tell by his voice, because he's got a very distinct voice.
I didn't know that, but I'm going to agree with you that this is probably one of my favorite films as well, and it was only because of
the twist,
the last third, and the fact that they shot the terrorist. Like, next shot, they talk about it. Boom! Between the two buses, it was
talk about it. It was like, you know what you're gonna have to do. That's how they talked about it.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah,
and it was his monologue, and his delivery of that monologue was stunning, and I couldn't believe how flabbergasted I was that this got me. It was just beautiful. And the fact that the whole title of the film is a Wednesday. You know, I could get out anytime. It could be a Wednesday, and I could.
That's right.
And it's all you guys are doing this.
Right.
And the government's not helping us, so now it's us that have to. I mean, it's pretty prescient, to be honest with you.
Well, listen, it's prescient now, but back then, when all the bombings were happening, think about an Indian audience watching this movie and hearing that monologue, and how it must have resonated with all of them who are so tired of the bomb. And I'm pretty sure every bombing date that they gave were dates of real bombings.
I'm sure with the names, like with a
they had dates and they had places.
So I'm saying,
so I can only imagine how, because I felt the exact same way as I'm watching the monologue. I was like, man, this guy is like nailing this thing. It's just so powerful, and that's what I love. And this came from Ron M, by the way, Ralph. Ron M. So I want to give him props because he sold it. This is a viewer choice.
Oh, one of the viewer choices.
Yeah.
Well.
He sold it.
Ron M. M? Yeah.
Ron M. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a hard, listen, was it a hard sell for me? Yes. I'm telling you, until the end, I was like, oh, this is going to be
But then it kind of made it made what you saw.
I still feel the same way about the Arif. I didn't understand his motivations. He's running around slapping everybody and beating.
He was just like it was almost like,
was the point that he's a hothead and they have to use him,
and he's like a super cop, right? It was almost like he came from a different movie, like his own movie where he's totally the lead character.
I mean, that's what I felt like.
So that was kind of strange, but he was the guy that killed the terrorist without hesitation.
Well, both of them did. They both shot
him. Oh yeah, that's right. They did. They both shot him.
They both shot him. No. And the other guy was like, I'm ready to die, even though my daughter and my wife. But I thought there were actual bombs were gonna go off. Yeah,
me too. Well, that was the other thing at the end when he said, there are no bombs, and the police chief said, yeah, I know.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. After that monologue, he understood the guy, and that's why he didn't arrest him. That's why it never made it on the
scene at
record.
The end was pretty cool.
Yeah, which was
where they bump into each other.
By the way, this film was remade with Ben Kingsley and Ben Cross.
Really?
And it was called A Common Man in 2013, and it got trashed.
It did?
Yeah. They said the acting was bad, and it's funny. I almost want to watch it just to compare Kingsley with Naseeruddin Shah and see, but he really was, his look and everything, it was like a nondescript guy you wouldn't think would be, especially in Indian films where the bad guys really have a look to them usually.
Yes and no. I mean, to me, he had a very distinct look. He was a powerful, his stature was powerful. I thought so. I mean,
he's a little guy. He's not a big guy.
I couldn't tell that.
Yeah.
But,
I think that's what made it, though, because you didn't expect that. First, you think he's a mastermind.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but not physically imposing.
No, but there's a lot of masterminds that aren't physically imposing. But then
when you realize who the guy really is and his motivation for doing what he's doing, you're like, he's speaking for everybody.
Well, that's what made the movie. That's the only thing that made me, and it made the whole movie for me. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this one. And I think the title is brilliant. It's like any Wednesday, a Thursday, any day. His wife's worried he's going to get blown up on the train, and and the fact that you're and I'm taking the power back. You guys have been doing this to us. Very, very powerful.
All right, how many Ledoux would you give
5 out of 5.
Oh, I give it 5 also. And I would have said 4, but that monologue that gets
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah. I can't, I would have, if that hadn't happened, it would have been a 3 or a 2.5.
Yeah.
But because of that made the whole film, and that was the point of the film. So whatever, and it made that third act much more powerful, knowing that those 4 guys were killed for a reason. There was a reason for that.
Right.
So.
Okay, very, excellent. Very all right, listen. So the other thing we're doing with this 20-ish-minute review, as a tribute to you, because we haven't done the whole gang for a month, we're doing What'd You Watch. Now, normally we don't do that with the Indian films, but we're going to do it as a tribute to you. So there's a little piece of you in every one of these. So, Ralph,
but it doesn't have to be an Indian film.
No. Whatever it is you're watching. So tell me, Ralph, what are you watching?
I just finished Painkillers on Netflix.
Oh, with Matthew Broderick.
Yes, and it is a must watch, and I hated every single second.
Is this about opioids?
Mad. Yes, I was mad through the whole thing. It's brilliantly made. Peter Berg directed, I think, all the episodes. It's one of these like The Big Short, any of these movies that explain things that have happened in the past, and not with humor like The Big Short, but definitely they did some things. Matthew Broderick the whole cast was really, really good. But it really made me quite upset. I'm still reeling from it a little bit, just because of the frustration of what these people did and how many people they affected, and they barely get punished. And now I'm listening to a podcast that breaks the whole thing down. There's 5 episodes. So I'm really just wallowing in this kind of capitalistic it's an indictment of the pharmaceutical company, capitalism, how these people make these things, the decisions they make, and they knew what they were doing. They knew people were getting
hooked on it.
Addicted, did nothing. They kept pushing it. The way they sold it to doctors, the way the doctors were prescribing it, because these beautiful women were their salespeople that were coming in, and just It's horrendous, and it's a fascinating watch. So
And
that's
all the episodes have dropped.
all 6, yes.
Okay, and you watched them in one sitting, or
I two sittings.
oh wow,
2 days in a row.
And
like I said, I was mad the whole time.
every episode an hour.
About 45 minutes.
Okay,
That's very digestible.
all right.
And it's brutal. It's brutal. Those people, the Sackler family.
Yeah, they're getting their asses sued, right? I mean, they got sued, right?
They did, but they barely a slap on the wrist. Taylor Kitsch is in it. You know, he plays a everyman who gets addicted. I mean, there's a lot of sub stories. There's a thread of a woman who was supposedly part of the the prosecution, but then you realize that it's Purdue Pharma. Purdue, that's the name of their company. They hired like all these ex-government lawyers, including Rudy Giuliani, to go in and attack the people who are attacking them, and it's quite an indictment on a lot of things. And like I said, I'm so mad watching it, but I couldn't stop.
I love feel-good movies like that.
I don't watch things. I don't need feel good because I get enough of that, with movies I watch. But it's information and it's what I want to see. And the problem is I'm really wallowing in it because, like I said, I'm now listening to this podcast. It really breaks it down.
All right. Well,
that's the happy thing I want.
Well, that's okay. That I'm sure our Indian fans will want to watch that. I just watched it because I've been watching to put content out. I've been watching a lot of Indian films. I'm not going to lie, but I just watched Goodbye, Mr. Chips. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I think it's 1937, starring Robert Donat and Greer Garson.
No.
What? Okay. Well, Greer Garson was in the film for 25 minutes, and she got nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress. And Robert Donat won Best Actor. And it's a wonderful story about an English school teacher through his life. He starts at 25 and ends up retiring. And Robert Donat is absolutely amazing in this film, the way he's aged performance-wise, because they put white on him. It's not like he's in old age makeup, but it's just a beautiful story about the British school system and how that whole thing works. And
Wasn't that remade?
It was with Peter O'Toole. Actually, it was a musical. And then they did one. It was similar with the Richard Dreyfuss movie where he played a conductor.
Opus, Mr. Holland's Opus.
It was kind of like a semi remake of it, but the original one and the performance by Donat is really great. So if you, it's black and white though, so you're probably not going to want to watch it, but whatever.
Watch it. I did read an article about Indian blockbusters that didn't make a lot of money, and some of them look pretty good. Some of them I did kind of want to watch.
Anything we would know?
I don't know. Nothing that we saw.
Nothing with Amir Khan?
I don't think Amir Khan was in any of them.
Shah Rukh Khan?
I think Shah Rukh Khan was in. Yes.
Ajay Devgan?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know exactly, but some of them look like they were going to be fun. I want to watch them.
Well, maybe we should. Why don't you compile a list, and when you get back, maybe we can have a wheel for that.
I'll have to see if I can find that article.
Yeah.
That might be one of them. Starred the actor from RRR, the guy who played the cop.
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you the actor's name. We need Drew here. I can't. I don't remember any of these. So how have the other ones been going?
They've been going great, actually. It's fun because each person has a little more time to wax on about the films. And like Jalakatu, I knew that Drew and I were going to have completely separate reactions to that film because he looks at it a lot differently than I do. And that was fun. And Sean and I, we both agreed, because Muna by MBBS is a remake of Patch Adams, basically. But the actor, Sanjay Dutt, who was the guy, they made a documentary on him. He went to prison for a while. He was he was the guy in PK that was the guy who got blown up when he went to pick him up at the train.
Okay. Yeah, Sean loves that guy.
He was great in this. Like, he was not the typical leading man, but he was a great leading man in it. So it's been wonderful. Debbie, we're gonna do next week because I'm going away this week for work. And then Crystal hasn't gotten back to me. So he said he's on vacation, but I think he's ghosting me. I think, frankly, Ralph, I'm not going to
lie. They did go. They went on vacation.
I know, but when you're not involved, he's just disinterested. So I don't know what that means.
I mean, Do you think people are missing all 6 of us up again? Or you think they're going to like?
I think some people are, because even some people in the comments wanted us, all 6 of us, to talk about some of the viewer choices. So I said, look, I mean, we're going to have movies left over because we're not going to do them all. And we'll certainly do those as a group. But at least this way we can keep the content coming. So anyway, so that's it, Ralph. How'd you like your 20-ish minute review?
We made about 20 minutes. I think slightly under.
There you go. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. I love that film.
I'm glad. So did I. Don't forget Ron M. Thank you so much.
Ron M. What's the name of the remake again?
A Common Man.
A Common Man.
Which was his credit in the film. Yeah. So I might check it out just out of curiosity.
Why not? We've been doing remakes.
I know. And you know, the fact that we even did this, the fact that you took the time from all the things that you have going on, that to me says, hey, I got to subscribe. You know what else? I want to know when these videos come out. I'm going to hit the notification button. And the last thing, I want to show these 2 guys, Ralph Quattrucci and John Quattrucci, that I like them. I really like them. So you know what? Today, I'm smashing that like button.
And it's Independence, the 14th, the 15th, right?
15th. Yes, I put out a YKY message.
Yeah, I saw that.
Were you happy with it?
You really are a content whore, but that's good. I mean, I think that's good.
So you think reaching out to our Indian audience,
I think
happy Independence Day,
out of all the things you could have put up, I think that's legitimate. So
I don't know what that means. What is it? What does that mean, Ralph?
You figure it out.
Okay, well, Ralph, apparently he's not as refreshed as we originally thought he was.
This was not for. I'm not going to come back any different. I have changed some of the graphics for the camera stuff, the stuff that I do, but that's about it.
You're gonna have a new layout, a new refreshed layout.
I'm gonna have a different screen, yes, because I only want to use one camera. That was a 4-camera setup. That was impossible.
That's crazy.
So now I'm doing.
You're gonna be able to put a green screen in that studio?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I just wanted you to see the new office.
I love it. I can't wait when you start playing the piano.
I got you can't see it. I don't know if you can see it. I got my Jaws blanket.
Oh yeah, the regatta. What is that? The billboard?
Yeah, it's the billboard.
Oh, that's cool.
You got the Jaws thing. I got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's one thing you would have liked about Jalakatu. They had a Quint character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want to go to Broadway and see the Shark Is Not Working.
What are you talking about on Broadway?
Robert Shaw's son has put a show together,
like a one-man show,
which is about because they got 3 guys. There's a guy playing Roy
Scheider and Dreyfus,
and it's behind the scenes when the Shark wasn't working, but it's a Broadway show.
The Shark's not working. The Shark's not working.
Exactly.
I've seen that in the making.
Dreyfus uses that a lot, but the son went and did. He's playing Quint.
Wait, I think I saw a picture of him. He looks just like him, right?
He looks just like him.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's another thing that we could watch. You know, this is some.
We have to go though. That's a Broadway show.
Well, let's do it, man. Maybe the whole YKY crew can go.
I'd be all into it.
All right, Ralph. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on.
No
everybody, excuse me, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we're going to keep the content coming till the group is back. So thanks for watching, and we're
definitely coming back.
I've tried to.
I'm surprised people question that. I'm a little.
Well,
surprised,
I think there are people out there who enjoy roasting you, and they don't want you to leave.
Well, maybe that's what
I'm just telling you.
I'm an easy target. So
well, no, that's not true, Ralph. That's not true. All right. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.